Can't hear you. Welcome, welcome to the Proud Mary podcast, everyone. For this third week of February, I am one of your hosts, Monique J, Miss Mo, aka Let's Be Honest, and this is,
92 cents.
and we
Hey,
are,
everybody.
yes, we are what you guys know as the Proud Mary podcast, where we give it to you nice when we can, yet rough when we must. So before we get started, we just have a couple favors we want to ask you. The first thing is, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And then make sure you give us a thumbs up. Just come right on in and give us a thumbs up. And then while you are watching the show, all we ask that you do is engage, comment, ask us questions. We'll make sure that we try to get your comments up on the screen. We'll try to acknowledge you. And we will have a pin in the comments where we'll have areas where our first couple of segments, where if you want to come up and join the conversation, you can do that and request up. So we'll have that pin as well. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started because, y'all, we have a show for you today. There has been so much going on. I swear, I don't know what we gonna do, child. This is too much going on. We might need to not wait a week because in 7 days they have too much going on. But first, we are starting with let's talk politics. And you know there will be no way in the world that we will be able to do that if we didn't talk about right now. We in a doggone partial government shutdown. What are your thoughts on that, Stag? And why is we shut down anyway?
You know what, Mo? I didn't even notice. Usually, we be keeping up with that stuff, but I'm so sick of these games and it's. I think that it's not just distractions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Democrats are doing everything to stay relevant and keep their voters engaged because they got the attention span and that. Um, it's distracting from all of that hoopla over certain stuff, and now they don't even want to talk about it anymore. So I haven't noticed that we're in a shutdown. Nothing for me has changed because we're in a shutdown.
Yes.
I don't know.
You know what? Well, the thing is and I think where the problem comes is, of course, it's the TSA people. It's the people working for FEMA. It's all of them
Mm-hmm.
who are not going to be getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Well,
of
they can thank
course,
Democrats for that.
is that me? Do you hear me echo or do you?
I don't hear echo.
I hear echo. Okay. Is it me? Me? Okay. You guys, if you're listening in, can you please let me know if you hear an echo? Please let me know if you hear an echo. Hey, all right, all right. Yeah, so I think it's. I hear, I hear echo. This is gonna drive me crazy. You're watching in. Please do me a favor. Let me know if you hear echo. Let me see if anybody is commenting. Okay, no. All right. However, yeah, I think the biggest part of it is the fact that everybody is, saying that the Democrats aren't thinking about, and they're not thinking about the people who they are impacting outside of themselves. Of course, they always get paid. What about now, MAGA? Thank
You
you.
turned your sound down.
Yeah, I did because I was trying to. How about now?
That's better.
Okay, trying to make sure. Okay, yep, it's perfect now. They're not
No,
thinking
when you
about
sat back, it went down low again.
it. Did let me go.
Yeah,
What
you
about
really
now?
low. A little more.
Now testing.
That's good.
Okay, I hear that echo though. I'm gonna have to. I might have. Let me. I hate talking through. Too. Okay, because I can't. That'll
Better.
drive. Can you? Where do you hear me from?
Where do I hear you from?
You hear me through your headphones, right?
No.
Okay, that's what it is. I hear you. I hear whatever you hearing me through.
Hold
Okay, but
on.
no worries because um You said the echo is back. They're saying the echo is back. We're gonna try to get this in order. Okay.
What about now? Is that better?
Yep. Wait, let me make sure.
Is that better? Okay.
Yes, much better, much better. And you can hear me much better? Can you hear me fine? I mean,
Okay.
okay. All
Yep.
right, there we go. All
Yep.
right, y'all. Y'all know, hey, everything ain't perfect, ain't nothing perfect, but we getting this here thing together. So yeah, I think it's sad the Democrats don't care, and the fact that they're shutting down over ICE. And did you hear what they want? What they want? Caroline did a press conference today, and she said they was talking. She said, and you should have seen her face. She was like, "Yeah, they talked. They sent something, but it's laughable." And basically was like, she was like, I don't even know who they think they. I mean, I think I do know who they think they messing with. They just don't think they messing with Donald Trump and people who are working under Donald Trump. I feel like y'all might have been able to push them around before, but that ain't happening now.
Well, I'm glad to see it because usually the Republicans end up giving in to whatever the Democrats want because of the backlash from the media, celebrities, talk shows, all of them with their media campaign,
Mm-hmm.
and the Republicans don't have that kind of apparatus to push their message. They they end up losing the war of words, right? And information. So I'm glad that now they are not giving in to that. Some of them still have to learn,
Mm-hmm.
but it's refreshing to see them. I still don't think that they fight back as much as they should and
I agree.
could, but at least they growing a spine if they ain't got one yet.
I swear.
I don't know what happened, but I'm getting a lot of feedback in my headset now. I
You
don't know
are?
why. Hmm. I don't know why.
Are you getting it now?
I've never had that problem before,
You know what I'm saying? Are you
but
getting
I'm
it
getting a
now?
lot
You
of
still
like
getting it now?
static. I can hear you. It's just that my when I turn
Oh,
it,
okay. I
I'm
get what
getting
you're saying.
static in my headphones.
So it has,
So I
okay.
don't know if it's translating
It's not.
in the sound.
I can everybody if you're watching on TT, we would love for you to roll on over to YouTube so we can talk a little more freely and you guys can actually engage with us. Because of course we're going to be doing stuff on our TikTok after we get the live capability, which is why I'm doing this now. But if you guys can roll on over to YouTube, we'd appreciate it. It's the Proud Mary podcast, and then you can engage with us a little more, and we actually will bring people up over on the YouTube as well. So I did want to go over a couple of the things that they are asking for, just to see what you thought. He said they want three. This is Chuck Schumer. They have three basic objectives. They want to rein in ICE and end violence. So they want to end the roving patrols. They want to bar ICE agents from entering certain places. Use of force code for immigration enforcement agents, and they want to require the agents to not wear masks. And everybody has to have body cameras. Now we do know that they I think spent some of their money or spending some of their money so everybody can have so they can have body cameras, but I'm like y'all asking for that and I think that's good for them so that they can show how crazy these people be acting.
I
But
agree with that. I
yeah.
do agree with that because I agree that they could give in the body cams or whatever. The only things that I don't um, agree with is the Democrats trying to run operations through different rules and restraints, right? Because they don't know what it's like they don't know what their mission truly is. They don't know what intel that they have. They don't know what they're dealing with on the streets. So you can't quarterback from Capitol Hill
Mhm.
and you're encroaching in on the executive branch of the government because that's his thing for him to decide how to execute, put people in place that plan, execute operations. in whatever agency it is. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only thing I don't agree with is Democrats trying to change policy, trying to change procedure to what they want, and they didn't win the election. We said we didn't like their governing.
Yeah, and I think that's the craziest part of it for me is that like and maybe because I was paying attention, I just wasn't bothering. What's that man name? Uh, who I said, what's that man name? My former president, Biden. I just wasn't bothering. I wasn't bothering him, so I don't know what he. I don't know what they was doing. I wasn't caring, and I don't recall. I know they gave them some pushback on that student loan thing, but I didn't really hear the Republicans like trying to fight on everything
Right. They
that.
actually got everything that they wanted, and it was in
Yeah,
bipartisan manners, except for those that Inflation Reduction, the CARES Act, that exorbitant spending that Biden did. But still, it wouldn't have happened had well, no, that was in the first 2 years, so they were running the House and stuff. But Mike Johnson did let them pass a bunch of spending, once he became Speaker, and McCarthy did as well. So
that's why you
I
ain't
just,
like him.
you're right. Like we weren't. I'm gonna say this. I paid attention. I did complain. We talked about the policies and what it was doing and, the effects and everything, but we weren't out here like protesting and tearing up stuff and
It's like
we
super.
weren't doing that. We accepted that we weren't the governing party, right?
Yes.
And we tried to get in where we could, but we couldn't be mad because we weren't the governing party. It wasn't our agenda.
I,
So but what they're doing is they're trying to change
mm,
the agenda
yep.
to what they want to do.
I remember kind of just in my mind saying, all right, just go wait this thing out. We
Mhm.
go, hey, we just go deal with it. It is what it is. I was
Do the
not.
count of 2 more years.
Hmm. Yeah, I was. I literally, I
And
knew.
come down to election day. Can't wait.
Thank you. Sacred Grove, welcome in. He said, oh, yeah, I do remember that Sacred Grove. Sacred Grove was saying Kamala was the tiebreaker. And I remember them all feeling like every time that what they were having was going to pass because, they knew she was going to come in and do what she needed to do.
Hmm.
Now, what was I watching today? Somebody was saying that President Trump is probably getting a little mad at the Senate because they keep trying to do things with the 60 votes and like is he, like he just needs to go ahead and understand and get Thune, Speaker Thune to say, hey, look, do we need to do so we can get this stuff because I still feel like we're getting things done, but I do feel like we're still kind of like the little engine that could in a sense because there's so much other stuff that is supposed to be being done and it's like we keep shut down then we got what I'm saying. So we can't even
Right.
truly. I mean, the president was still working, but I just still feel like, and I know that's the point, right? Because they already know that if the things start going the way that they're planning to go, he will go down as if not the greatest president ever, as one of the greatest presidents ever.
It'll be the
And that
greatest.
and that is the part that they don't want. And
It'll be the greatest.
yes, but they and so they're intentionally doing it. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
because the swamp is no swamp, and I want to bring your attention to this. Remember the way that Thune got to be Speaker pro tem, whatever they call him in the Senate, right? Remember the way that he got that position. They Rhino Republicans, Mitch McConnell leading the way, shoved him in there before um, the Congress turned over. Do you
Okay.
remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about how they kind of stabbed us all in the back by just
Back.
kind
Yep.
of making sure that they got it. So I don't fully trust Thune. And in order to not be found out, he got to pretend a little bit like he's doing a little pushback, but ultimately he's blocking this agenda. by not moving forward.
Yeah,
I
not making
also
things
think that
well.
they should change the filibuster to the standing filibuster, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's the way it should be. I think that if there is legislation that you do not want to pass, you should be made to stand before the American people and explain to us why, especially on legislation that was voted on, right? The
Mm-hmm.
policy that was voted on, that was, ran on and people voted for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also something that comes up that the majority of Americans say that they want to save that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to pass what the majority of Americans want, you should be made to stand before us and tell us why.
Yeah.
What's your reasoning?
Because by you seeing how many Republicans want it, you see how many Democrats are in support of it. Why is we waiting to hear what them people who obviously don't care about their constituents are doing? Do what's best for the American people. And that's
Yep.
what one of the reporters was saying today to Caroline. He was like, because we just gonna keep it real. We already know the Democrats would push through and do everything that they wanted to do. They would not be sitting here trying to negotiate like that because that's
Nope.
how they are. They some
Look at
bullies.
what they did with what they passed through during Biden, with absolutely no Republicans, no support. Everybody was saying no, but they wanted to do it. They had the votes. They did it anyway. They don't compromise at all. They do not compromise on anything. If they had a vote, they doing whatever it is. They
Yep,
don't care
whatever
what.
the hell
And a
they
lot
want
of
to do.
times, if you go back and look, they won't even let Republicans make amendments to their bills. Republicans will, try to be like, okay, y'all can add some amendments or whatever. If just come on and let's pass this. Democrats won't even let them. Don't want to have debates over the stuff they want to do. They don't want to compromise with Republicans. They don't want to let them amend anything. When they have power, they don't give a damn about nothing.
Nothing.
And, and Republicans need to understand that because right now we in a fight for the the sovereignty of the nation, right? This is not just about another election and you not being as forceful. Like we ain't asking you to get in the mud with them and sling,
Hmm.
but at least go learn a few
Get a little
moves.
dirty. Get some dirt under your fingernails or
Right,
something. Jesus, quit
just
being
pick
so
up some mud
soft.
and just throw a little ball.
Right? Throw a little mud ball. Make you a
You ain't
little
got to
mud
just
pie.
repeat
Something.
and roll around, but throw some mud in there. Shoot.
They
That's
too clean cut. They too conservative. But speaking of
Mhm.
compromise, with it leads us and rolls us right into another issue that's going on right now that is sitting in the Senate, which is a big topic now since we've been dealing with this influx of immigrants and deportation and ICE and all this. Now we have the Save Act,
Mhm.
and I don't have a clue what they would have a problem with. And the fact that I have watched many, 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 many times, Schumer, I didn't play this now saying that it's Jim Crow 2.0.
Mhm.
I am just wondering what country does he have to be in? Because actually, and I have a video of you on the show of him saying that it is important and we should have voter ID.
Mhm.
It was 1996. Now, maybe what
That
did
was
you?
before they flooded all them illegals into these areas, but that I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he old now and he didn't change his mind or what. But it's ironic because it's like a lot of the things that they're fighting now, like even with the tariffs, all of them were for all of these things. Now all of a sudden they're not. But I
They weren't in fear of losing the black vote then. And like I said, they weren't flooding in the country with illegals, giving them a bunch of free stuff and IDs and registering because if you got ID, you register to vote. In a lot of these Democrat areas, they're giving them IDs. So
hmm yeah,
then
you
they
said
didn't. Now they done figured out how to rig the system since they're losing a lot of their voter blocks. And I don't understand how a lot of people, especially Democrat voters, don't see this, that the Democrat Party is hemorrhaging support and voters. And with each new uh, political stunt they pull, they really open the eyes of more people. Like that be the thing that makes somebody say, wait a minute. And they're hemorrhaging voters. It's I don't know. Keep doing what they're doing.
Well, what I wanted to do, because we are known for, and what people like about us is the fact that we actually give, factual information, and
Hmm.
people, if they don't know, they can, actually see it ain't just our opinion. Now, our opinion is good, y'all. We be knowing what we talking about, but we don't have no problem putting a stamp on it and proving to you what we're saying. So some of the misinformation that is being given
Right.
about this Save Act is one of the things with the married women. Now,
Hmm.
w- what can you say what the whole issue and what the problem is that they feel the problem is going to be for women who just got married?
So the simplistic thing that the Democrats are saying, because they think that we all simple-minded, is that if you get married, then all of a sudden you're gonna lose your right to vote if this bill is passed, because gosh darn it, you don't know how to go and prove that you are the same person that you were the day you were born.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no possible way that you're gonna ever be able to identify yourself again if this
But
bill passes.
they have to get a new license and a new social security card when they get married and they want to change their name. So
Hmm.
I'm not understanding why we would believe it would be so hard to register to vote with that name
Hmm.
once.
Don't you have to get a new driver's license too?
Yeah, I mean, and here's the ironic thing. I know people who have never changed their stuff legally. They're married.
Hmm.
They is valid. They put it with the city hall. They just chose
Hmm.
not to change all of their stuff. But for the people
Hmm.
who do want to, it's not. You take the marriage certificate
You
the
know what
same
it
way
is?
you took it to the DMV to get your new license with your
Yeah,
new
you
married
take it
name.
there
You take it
with
to,
your
yeah.
birth certificate,
Actually,
of
yeah. When
course.
you go do it, you can just tell them you want to register to vote too, because you register to vote when you get your new license,
Hmm.
and
But
just
all you have to do is bring that document that showed that you are this person on the birth certificate and your name changed. Here's my marriage license. This is me. That's it.
your birth.
They
And
just
I
want to
actually
make sure
wanted you to
that
talk about that
whoever is coming to register is the same person that you were when you were born.
with your
That's
birth
who's
certificate,
coming.
right? Because on your marriage certificate it says who you used to be and what your new name is. So I
Hmm.
don't understand why they think. And we were talking today, and I wanted you to share that because somebody was saying, well, everybody, it's hard to get a birth certificate, and I was like,
Mm-mm,
you
I've
can
done
order
it
your
twice.
birth certificate
I've done it
online.
twice. I've done it twice from two different states online. Took me no more than a week
With the
for it to come.
hospital was
In some
closed.
cases, I would even say 3 days. Um, all I had to do was go online to whatever state's Department of Vital Statistics and apply for a copy of my birth certificate and pay whatever fee it is, and they mail it to
Yes,
you.
usually it's only
Easy
like
peasy.
about $15. But then that's what they
Yeah.
were saying. Well, everybody don't have it, and they should just make it free. And then somebody said to me they should have a voting ID. I said
Well,
they
how are all these people applying for college loans and car loans and getting apartments and getting mortgages and writing checks and cashing checks and getting bank accounts and going on trip, buying plane tickets, getting through TSA? How are these people doing all of this? Buying cigarettes and scratch
that's
off
what I
lottery
say.
tickets?
Getting a bill, doing whatever it
And how
is
they
they
doing
want to
all
do.
of this
Now they
stuff
can't find
with no
$15
ID?
for
How they
for their
getting
birth
food
certificate.
stamps and Medicaid and
Right. It's nothing
how
that
they
you
doing
can
all
get
of
unless.
that?
But see, what's interesting though is as a citizen, which I have no problem like proving that and showing it, right? But ironically, these undocumented illegal aliens can go and get all of this stuff and don't have an ID. They can get medical treatment. They can get
Hmm.
they can get the aid, they can get all of that, and they don't have an ID. So that is
Hmm.
what's funny, because they do allow them to get a whole lot of stuff that citizens can't get
You
much
know what I
easier.
think would be this? This shows the dishonesty in the Democrats' argument because if they really thought this, um, that the issues were that one of the biggest thing that they say that people can't afford to get an ID, right? So
Mhm.
many people can't afford to get an ID. Then the compromise would be, hey, okay, we will agree that everybody should have an ID, but you put a fund aside to help people to pay for IDs who may not. And then you have to fit a certain criteria, people who just may be released from jail
Mhm.
and or if you meet certain income level or something. I don't know, I still don't know how people who poor, just because you poor don't mean you ain't identifying yourself and don't need an ID
Yeah.
day to day. How you even get, I don't know, but anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I
They're
think,
not even offering a compromise on, I mean, because y'all ask for money for anything else, why not money to pay for people to get IDs?
and that's what I was about to say. In a lot of states, if you can't afford, you can file for like indigent or something like that, and they will allow you to get an ID. And I know
Let me tell you
because they're
something,
saying
Mo.
they want you to do the real ID, they actually are allowing you to upgrade to the real ID for free. Hey, Mary.
Yeah, let me tell you something. The two times that I had to get my birth certificate again. I was born in Texas. I was living in Ohio, and I was applying for something. I don't remember what it was, but I needed my birth certificate. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a copy of my birth certificate. Got online vital statistics, and I paid $35 because I needed it right away, and I
Expedite.
believed that I got it in 3 days. Okay, no problem at all. The next time my purse was stolen, and when my purse was stolen, I had just gotten my Texas ID because I just moved to Texas, and I
Mm-hmm.
still had it in my purse. Or no, it might have been for that ID for my job. I think that's what it was. And so I still had my documents in my purse. Whatever it was I needed for my purse was stolen. And again, I had to send away for my birth certificate because without my birth certificate, I can't get my driver's license
Right.
again. And I need my social security card. So my name was spelled different on my birth
Oh
certificate.
Lord.
And it wasn't a problem the first time because I didn't need a new ID and I didn't need a new social security card. But since everything was gone, nothing that I had that
Match.
spelling on there. So I had to go to the social security office and let them know, hey, I got my birth certificate, it's spelled differently. This is who I am. Gave them my social security number. They gave me a piece of paper with my information on it
Mm.
so I could go and get my driver's license. That easy. All I had to do was get in my social security number. They gave me the paper that said, hey, I applied for my social security card. I'm waiting on it in the mail, but in the meantime, yep, this is her social security number.
Well, see, the thing is I think that what they're saying is, and that's what is, I feel is racist, classist, all of, because all that you went through, that's because you are a type of person that is not going to just give up. They're saying people ain't gonna go through all that.
Well, then then
They
they don't
just
want to
don't,
vote.
right, they don't need to
Then
vote.
they
And
don't
then
want to vote. That's not our problem. It's not our responsibility to make you go and make it, I mean, you can't make it no easier than you just, if you want to participate, then you'll do what is necessary to participate, right? We shouldn't have to relax the rules because you lazy.
yeah. Well, see that, but that's what the Democrats know, and then reality is a lot of those people. Sadly, I mean, it's lazy on both sides, I'm sure, but a lot of them are, they are assuming are their voters, and they don't want to lose them. So
Mhm.
that's
They
the
ain't
whole.
lying because they know if they don't have to, they're not going to go sit down at the DMV all day long. But this ain't got nothing to do with none of those voters, okay? This has strictly to do with them allowing room for people who shouldn't be voting in our elections to vote.
Yeah, I mean, I
Because
tell
since
somebody
they're
today,
giving
I
out,
don't
because
even
it used to
understand why this is
be,
an argument.
it, because it used to be your driver's license was enough because to call us crazy, you had to. We assumed that only U.S. citizens would get there, or people who were legally here could have the documentation to get. But then, when Democrats decided handing out driver's license to anybody,
You get a
even
license.
people
You get
who
a license
weren't
because you know they
citizens,
do that in Minnesota.
then now we have to find another way to secure the election. Again, this is because the Democrats, if y'all wasn't handing out driver's license to people like Tic Tacs that just, you know, came here, then we wouldn't need another measure of security for the election. So thank yourselves for that.
Right, exactly. No, I'm
But
all
now that they,
for it
we know that they have ID and you only require an ID to vote, now we got to put another layer of security on ID. Prove you're a U.S. citizen.
because as we saw in California, they just let you say, I should go and be like, I'm Jesse Jackson. See if they let me vote, and I just sign the affidavit. You're not gonna find out. You're not gonna find me because you see the little old lady when we did the video. She would look like she should have been working no more. And she like, well, why would somebody lie, girl? Because people lie. What is you talking about? Because they crooks. They trying to do something dirty. When you doing something
Do
dirty,
you
you
know what
gonna be
gets me
dirty.
most? Is when they'll say, people who are legal, they probably vote in the election. Uh, People won't vote in the election. That's against the law. Well, hello, if that logic worked, then we wouldn't need a jail, police, or
Exactly.
nothing because all the things that people get locked up for are against the law, but somehow they decided they
Exactly.
were gonna take a chance to do it anyway.
But then you know
So
that thing they go back to, Stag, is well, how often is it happening? I said one time is too much.
yeah, doesn't matter. Every illegal vote cancels out the voice of an American citizen. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's one time, like you said, Mo, it's one time too many because you just taken away the voice of an American citizen.
And how many times have people been caught and been arrested? Did you see the lady? Now she didn't got in trouble. But you see the lady registered her dog to vote 3 times just to prove.
No.
Oh yeah, and her dog got registered. Now
Mm,
she fighting the case now because she did it, but she was doing it to prove that you don't, anybody could register to vote, and you
yeah.
don't have to have an
And
ID.
when I moved to Georgia from Texas, right? All I had to do was go online and register to vote. I didn't have to go nowhere, didn't have to show nobody any documents
Just
or
check the
nothing.
box. I'm an American citizen.
Yep. And I got my voter's registration card. So
Look, Sacred said her dog voted for Kamala. I bet that's why she ain't win because she got fake votes. Well, you got
mhm.
anything else in this political arena that you want to touch on?
I don't know if it's political, but we have an update from Fulton County. Yay.
Yeah, it is.
So
What's the
the
update?
commissioner, that old black man,
Yeah.
right? The one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. They filed a lawsuit. I'm sure you guys
I
heard to
I saw
get
it.
those things. But the problem is they broke Georgia law because they filed the suit without having a public hearing on it and having
Mm-hmm.
a public vote on whether or not to
They
sue.
should file
Number
the suit.
two, number two, that they don't belong to them. They belong to the county clerk. So they illegally filed a lawsuit. They had nothing
Mm.
to do with it. They said it because they said that they couldn't use the warrant, the first warrant, because it was in the wrong location because they didn't have the ballots. It was with the county clerk. So they had to modify the warrant to go to the right building to get the ballot. So they don't belong to them. So
So
that's where
they
we
done
are now.
wasted. It says, yeah. Oh yeah, I was looking. It says Fulton is a legal lawsuit. So yeah, they. What are they? This is how you know somebody has to be doing something. Because if you weren't doing anything, what are you fighting about somebody checking to see what you're doing? Come
That's what
on
I keep
in, Cletus.
asking.
Okay, come on, Cletus. Come on in here, check it all
If
out. If you know you ain't doing
why
nothing.
do we retain the records from elections for so long after that election is over? Why don't we just toss them out if we can't never look at them?
Right.
Why would we just toss all? Why we paying for storage and all of that stuff if nobody can look at them after the election is over with? We retained them
They
till
just
they
don't
read
want
them.
Trump looking at them. That's all that is.
Yeah.
They don't want nobody in the Trump administration. Nobody got to do with Trump. Nothing with Trump. Now, oh, you
Exactly.
know what? Um, yeah, let's do a little bit. Let's before we go and move into law. I think I have something that will humor you or give you a smile for the
Mm-hmm.
day. Let's check it out. Hold on. And then I definitely want to get your point of view on it, on your point of view on this, right? Because it is getting. I was on a panel today and I did not understand it. Um, how and the people were trying to make this be a problem. So they had a problem with this. So I'm not sure. I want you to tell me what your thoughts are
Mm-hmm.
on it, and then you guys too, not just SAG. If you're in the chat, you watching anywhere, you watching. Tell me if you think that this was a bad, was something you can find something negative to say, or it wasn't about uh Black history. I guess let's go.
This is a nice full room. You know, we have a ballroom being built right now. So in about a year and a half, we'll be able to have about I'd say 10 times the number. We can
I can't
get some
hear it.
friends that couldn't make
You
it
can hear
today
it.
because, frankly,
I can't hear
most
it
of them
that
are
good.
sold out.
You can hear it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear it now?
Well, let
Can
me
you?
change that. I could hear it before, but it was really low, so I couldn't hear it. It's not that I couldn't hear anything. It was too low.
Okay, can you guys that are watching on YouTube, can you hear it? Can you let me know if you can hear it? Any of my viewers on YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you were able to hear it loud and clear. Let sister know. Thumbs up if you were able to hear loud and clear. Tell me now, Stack.
Into the most beautiful ballroom. It's being built right now. So it's pretty. And they wanted it for 150 years. We're getting it done a lot. We're
I
getting
can
quite a
hear
bit
it. That's
faster
Trump
now, too.
talking.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you
Yeah.
all and welcome you to the White House on this very special occasion. It is indeed. I've been at every one of them, and we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. That's a big deal. 100. Wow. That's sort of special. The 100th. That's about as like
You can't hear
152.
Mary?
But 200's better, right? 100's better.
I don't know what. Let me. Okay, tell me, Mary, if you can hear now. Can you hear now, Mary? No. I don't
Honored
know.
to be joined this afternoon by many exceptional African American leaders and patriots, including
What about now?
Secretary Scott Turner, recommended. Where is Scott? Where is Scott?
But no.
Will you come up here, Scott? He was recommended by somebody who's very special to me, Ben Carson. Ben Carson. Where's Ben?
Hold on.
Where's Ben? Ben? Come on up here, Ben. Come here. I got to get him. And his
Hold
wonderful
on. Let me
wife, Candy.
pause.
Candy,
Okay, Mary, I know you said you can hear me. You guys can't hear you can you hear the video that's playing, Mary? I guess yeah, that's the question. Can you hear the sound from the video before I keep going, Stag? No, I'm not playing it now, Stag, but could you hear the sound from the video, Mary? I ain't changed up nothing but my mic. Could you hear the sound from me? You could, okay, so you can
Is
see
it
it.
playing through your laptop? Did you turn the volume up on your laptop?
Yeah, they said she said that they could hear it. So let me see if you can hear it
Okay,
now. Hold on, let me.
I just want to pay my highest respects to Reverend
much
Jesse
better.
Jackson. He's a good man. He was actually, as you got to know him, he got better and better all the time. A lot of people, you get to know them, they get worse and worse. Jesse got better and better. But I knew him well long before becoming president, and he really was special with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. You would say Jesse had serious street smarts, right? A very important ingredient to life, I will tell you. He was gregarious and someone who truly loved people and a force of nature. He was somebody that we're going to greatly miss. And on behalf of everyone here today, I know you join me in sending our condolences to the entire family. Got a great family. We're also honored to be joined this afternoon by many exceptional African American leaders and patriots, including Secretary Scott Turner, recommended. Where is Scott? Where is Scott? Will you come up here, Scott? He was recommended by somebody who's very special to me, Ben Carson. Ben Carson. Where's Ben? Where's Ben? Come on up here, Ben. Come here. I got to get here. And his wonderful wife, Candy. Candy, I'm going to steal Ben for a second because, Ben recommended Scott. And when Ben recommends somebody, I just do it. Did I make a good decision? Be careful. Don't fall, Ben. If you fall, that's the end. You can never recover from a fall. If you can make the greatest speech ever, but if you fall, my predecessor taught me that. So is Scott doing a good job, Ben? He's doing the best job ever. Come on, say that. I like that. One of the reasons I was so high on Scott Turner is he was really the driving force behind the opportunity zones, which was which doesn't get nearly the attention that it should, but it was because President Trump realized that the best way to get things done is through public-private partnerships and have everybody with skin in the game. And it is working, as are all the other things that he's been recommending. And at some point, the mainstream media will recognize that you don't politicize everything. You open your eyes and your ears and you look and you see what works and you deal with that. And but the best thing about Scott, he's got a lot of energy. I'm an old man now. I'll be 75 on my next birthday. And I'm not like President Trump. He just goes forever. But no,
He said you're
no
doing
one else is
okay.
like that. But Scott Turner, we call him the Energizer Bunny, and he is doing a fantastic job. And I want to congratulate all the people at HUD because most of them have come back and continued with what we're doing during the first Trump term, and it's fantastic. Thank you very much, Scott. Well, just very briefly, thank you, Mr. President. We are so grateful for your leadership and for your heart for America. And Dr. Carson, who is a tremendous just leader, servant leader, and been a great mentor to me. And, I never thought that I would see the day where I'm standing between the president and Dr. Ben Carson. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And so I just want to say to everyone that's here, as we celebrate this special day in not only Black history, but American history, this year that we've been here, under President Trump, the Lord has been so gracious to us, and he's been faithful, and the president has been a tremendous leader in his work ethic, his heart for people. And when he says America first, he really does mean America first. Yeah. And to be able to stand on the shoulders of Dr. Ben Carson and for the president to trust Dr. Carson at his word is truly humbling for me. And so to stand now as the servant leader and the secretary of HUD, I'm grateful to the Lord. I'm grateful to the president and Dr. Carson. And I promise you, we will continue to do good work and to make not just housing affordable and everybody achieve the American dream, but really to bring transformation. And so that those that are in our country who depend on subsidies and this, that, and the other will get off of that and live a life of self sustainability. So God bless y'all.
He said, "Get off of that."
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. And Ben mentioned opportunity zones. We did that. And I want to thank Tim Scott because he really, that was his baby. That was his baby. And he did a great job with it. We appreciate it. And again, Candy, thank you very much for being here.
Okay, I want one
I
more.
can't imagine it. You'd see him with Leo 2.0 up in the hat. We love him. He's a great man. Years does she have left? 20 years does she have left? 28. In jail, 22 years. I said, 22 years. And right, Alice? And come on up here, Alice. Come on up. I said, 22 years, and she was on a phone call. This was over a phone call. I know about fake phone calls too, Alice, remember? They tried to get me in a fake phone call. But Alice was in jail for like 22 years. I said, how many years does she have left? 28. I said, 28 years left. And I said it, and I mean, she admitted she made a little mistake, but it was not the kind of a mistake that you serve 50 years in jail for. Like maybe a couple of months, maybe less than that. And I said, this is the most unfair. And then when I met her, I fell in love. I found my wife was very upset with it. Our great first lady did not like that, Scott. She didn't like it, but Alice is great. And say a couple of words. It was so ridiculous. 22 years, she had 28 left. And I said, let's get her the hell out. And we got her out. We did a commute. And then when I got to know her, she was so high quality. I said, full pardon. So she's cleaner than anybody in this room, even than my friend right here. She's cleaner because of that. She's cleaner than anybody in this room.
He laughed because he said, "Me too."
Thank you, Mr. President. The feeling was mutual. I fell in love with this man, with his heart for this country, with his heart to really bring America back to the form of greatness that it deserved. And that's exactly what he has done. My story is truly a Joseph story. This president right here, President Donald Trump, brought me from the prison pit to the White House. Only in America could there be a story like my story. And President Trump is the only president who would have had the courage to bring someone like me, someone who received a second chance, but who knows more than someone who is sit among the captives, than someone who has been in captivity themselves. I did not get comfortable in my own freedom, but I went back, as Harriet Tubman said she did. She went back to draw many others into freedom. And President Trump has listened to those recommendations. There's so much more to come because when you see me, you see a miracle. You see hope. You see second chances. And you see someone who is willing to roll up their sleeves and do the work, do the hard work to help individuals gain their freedom. President Trump did something historic in his first term. He signed the First Step Act into law. And for that, over over 40,000, and that number is low. Over 40,000 individuals have come home to their families early. And you know, many of those were Black Americans who had no hope. This president right here,
He said, "Come on."
as you look out upon this sea of Black Americans, this president hears you. This president cares for you. Don't let anyone tell you that this president right here, Donald Trump, has not is not for Black America because he is. I'm standing here today. I'm standing here today as a testament to how he feels about Black Americans. There has never been a position like this. I don't know if there ever will be before, but I worked with him in his first term, and I'm proud to now officially have the title to make it happen. Let's get real with the realness. Let's get behind President Trump, who truly has turned our nation around and made us the envy of every country in the world. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, God, for recognizing and raising up this man to be the leader of the free world. I love
Okay.
She's a great woman.
Wait, hold
You
on.
know, when I was looking for a pardon person, like a pardon czar, they gave me somebody from Harvard, somebody from Yale, somebody from Princeton, somebody from Penn, somebody from Stanford. And I said, "Do you know anything about it?" Well, we can learn. They can. And when I met Alice, I said, "She's better than these people." And she's done a fantastic job. I said to Alice, I said, "So I'm looking for people like you to let out. How many people are there like you?" She said, "Many." I said, "Many in jail?" Think of it, 22 years she was in jail, and she had 28 years to go on a phone call. You admit you did a little something wrong, right? But it was like, okay, it wasn't, it wasn't 50 years. Even if you said 6 months, today it would be probably nothing. But even if you said some little time, but I said, "I'm looking for other people like you. How many are there?" Many. Then I was worried because I said, "Well, maybe she's going to say everybody should be let out." And we're not a believer in that. I said, "So Alice, are there people that shouldn't be? You met a lot of people, right? Are there people that shouldn't be let out?" Absolutely. Then I felt better.
All right, all right. So we have people watching from other platforms, and so we have a naysayer and a negative person who's saying, "Oh, he used the lady, and don't put God in this, and all of these things." What is your take? You saw both things. I also, because I want to get your opinion, Stag, and you guys in the chat as well. I've also heard several things. It wasn't about Black history. It was only about Donald Trump. Um, he, yeah, that was most of it. It wasn't about they were doing was talking about him. And for me, my point of view is he was giving the Black people who are in or a part of in his administration the opportunity for us to see, because everybody swears there are no Black people, because it's some more he names throughout this that are a part of all of the departments, right? And he was giving them a chance to be seen and for them to talk currently about what they're doing right now. Now, I had some people who they tried to do and compare what's that man name? I can Biden, President Biden, former President Biden. Um and they were playing, and he talked with his, and I guess he was talking about the past, and they felt like, I guess, that he was I guess talking about the past, because I guess it's Black History Month. I felt like this was better. Allow us to see Black people doing what they're doing right now. You're acknowledging the past. You said what you said about Jesse Jackson. You are saying this is the 100th Black History Month of this country, but let's see what Black people are doing today. What these Black people are doing as a part of this government. So for me, that made more sense to me. But what are your thoughts, Stag? I'd love to hear 'em. Can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
I agree. I am tired of discussing the same old time. Not, don't take this wrong, but the same old time people from when I was a kid and my uncles and aunt was kids, and they just talking about the same old people like there were not other Black people doing things, and they're not, and they haven't done anything since then, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
According to, academia and the left and stuff, when it comes to Black History Month, and they want to, talk about Black history, they only go as far as civil rights and King. And I'm happy to see him highlighting, because isn't that what they're always talking about? Representation, right? So highlighting those who are in the administration and the great things that they are doing, because they don't get as much recognition from the press as everybody else in the administration, but they're the ones who tell you, hey, I got black people in his administration and this and that, but they won't ever highlight. Like when do you recall when the media sat Alice Johnson down and had interviews with her and asked her about what it is that she's actually doing in the administration? I can't recall it. Scott Turner, rather than just, asking him trick questions about the policies, right? Have you ever seen them sit him down and ask him questions about his background and what the changes are that he's making in HUD and why? And I can't recall it. So I think it's great. I look forward to all of his events. He's such a people person, and I don't understand how they don't see that he's a genuine people person. I can't hear you. You muted.
Yeah. You could even see he was humbled by what Miss Alice was even saying about him in front of other, because he knows how he pay attention, so he hears everybody calling him racist. He know he's not racist. um
Hmm.
and but you could just tell he felt good to see that, okay, everybody is not thinking like all of these people. Because
Hmm.
like I promise you, everyone who, I mean, people I've known who have had the opportunity to meet him, nobody, and they're all black, not a person has said anything bad. They actually leave liking him if they didn't really like him, but they, if they liked him a little bit, they end up leaving liking him more, because they say he just real.
Hmm.
He's down to earth. He's actually kind. He's willing to listen. He's willing to help people. We know that by all the things he's done over the years,
Hmm.
for all people, but especially black people. So it's just weird to me. I was just wondering what you gonna think. 'Cause like I said, so through the rest of it, he because it's somebody in DHS, he was just naming all the different departments where there were
Hmm.
people who black people who worked in it. But I wanted to see your thoughts, because that's all, the negative Nelsons and Nancys have said
Hmm.
today, is that he uh all they talked about was him. Well, when they get up
It's a
there,
shame that they're going to have such a warped view of the greatest time in our country's history. Is that they're going to have such a warped view of it.
yeah, yeah, and well, we have a chat saying they didn't mention Jesse Jackson. I think you should watch from the beginning, because he definitely
Yeah,
mentioned
we
Jesse
already.
Jackson, and talked about what kind of man he was and gave his condolences. So again, what I always just say to people before, it's, you can tell a fool by the fact they speak before they learn, right?
Why would you come in the middle of a program and say what they didn't talk about? The thing would be to come in and say, did he talk about Jesse Jackson? But just to come in and make the statement that he didn't, and everybody in here listen to what he had to say about Jesse Jackson, like
Right. Right.
crazy.
It is. I tell people, everybody's always talking about these days how the country is, is this and that. And I'm like, I don't really have a problem with actually the country and the way that the government is running. What's making me sad is how ignorant and silly and simple minded and crazy people are. Like, the things
Hmm.
that people doing, the video I put with the lady trying to burn down the building that she heard gonna be ice, every day, encountering people who wake up every day to complain about somebody who does not touch their life every day. Like, all of that is scary to me. It's scary, it's sad. And I just don't know what I would do if that was how my life was. I'm not gonna lie. If I it's strange. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
You like
because I think
yeah,
that it is, it is. Even during the Biden years, we weren't like
yeah. I
like now
mean,
we were pissed off at the decisions that they were making and the results of a lot of the decisions that they were making, but we weren't, like I said, we weren't running through the streets, protesting everywhere, burning stuff down, beating up cops and harassing the other citizens because they voted for Biden. And look at what they've done to the country.
And every time he tripped and stumbled, see, I told y'all, you need to get rid of him. Every 5 minutes, like, no, we was just like, we acknowledge, hey, yeah, this ain't right. But like we're saying to them, there is nothing. He's the president, so at this point, he gonna have to croak, or we got to get through the 4 years. One of the two. One of the two. There is
Mhm.
nothing else that we can do. This is the way our democracy works. We vote. Somebody wins. Somebody loses. If
Isn't
you
it
are not a
strange that the party of democracy doesn't like democracy
democracy,
when
yeah.
they lose?
Very, very interesting to me. Well,
Mm.
we spent a little more time on that one, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next segment for today, and that is Let's Talk Law. You guys know we love to delve in, especially Miss Stagg. We got some several things we're gonna talk about today. Stagg, what is the first on your agenda under this law category, sister?
Were we going to talk about more about the Save Act, or did we have another law that's on it? Oh, my goodness! I sent you that thing where Jayapal and some other guy with the
Yes, yes, yes. I want.
transgender Bill of Rights is what the Democrats are now pushing in Congress. And no, you know what? I got that wrong. Jayapal is not the one that represents in Michigan. That is Talib. That's who it is
Okay,
that
but
represents.
she's the one that presented it.
No, it was Jayapal. I
Okay,
forget
right.
where
That's what I'm
she.
saying. Yeah, yeah. Because I want to
Yeah.
look. So I want to do the Democrats know that they can't listen to you regarding your what you want for them to do as their constituent, but they haven't wrote a bill for the medical and health care that they keep saying that needs to be fixed. They haven't wrote they keep saying things need to be affordable. They haven't wrote or presented
Hmm.
anything, but this let us just show you guys what they are writing though. Hold on a second. Hold on, because this is our thing. You guys, the people who waste their time trying to pick out things that are about absolutely nothing, and this is the stuff that they're sliding right under your nose because they got you looking in the
Too
Epstein
often,
files.
when we discuss trans rights, we're on the defensive, discussing how to protect trans people from horrific Republican attacks and how to ensure that trans people can live authentically in our communities. Today, though, we are not on the defensive. We are looking forward with the Trans Bill of Rights. We are laying out a comprehensive vision to provide protections for transgender and non binary people, a vision that ensures that every single person has a chance to thrive, a vision that says, you are us, you belong, and you are worthy as of the same rights as everyone. This bill supports amending the Civil Rights Act to ensure that trans people have the same rights and protections as all other Americans. It creates a level playing field where trans people no longer have to fight tooth and nail to get the same treatment as their cisgender friends. Creating inherent protections for trans people when it comes to schooling, housing, accessing credit and healthcare, expanding community services and mental health services for trans people is what it takes to ensure that trans people have full equality, where we can celebrate trans rights rather than fight for every single right at every turn. Too often.
All right. So all of my uh Democrat comrades, if you're watching, either here or on TT, did you guys know that y'all still feeling like you don't have all your rights? And they writing and pushing for bills for people who got rights. They get all the same rights that everybody else has. And now, because what is the right? What's the rights gonna be? I didn't even hear what they gonna get to do.
Right, like what? Yeah, that's what I'd like to know is what's in this Bill of Rights that's not in the other Bill of Rights, and what's in the old Bill of Rights that doesn't apply to them,
Right? Because they
that
think
they need
humans.
special rights.
I,
I
I
let me tell you, I used to say this years ago, right, with the Alphabet Mafia, right? So this is America. We have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and it is equal rights, not special rights. So if you want special rights, you're in the wrong country.
that is a
And just because you decide to chop off your wiener, it doesn't now give you more rights than everybody else and
what they
make you
do
a
is
special claimant.
what they do is they all of them ain't chopping off their window. Some of them getting the window. You know that,
Because you
right?
want to make dill pickle relish out of your wiener. It ain't got nothing to do with the rest of us.
Yes, that is literally crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Crazy as heck. Um, because again,
Hmm?
they people. Uh, I don't know what they gonna. They can't because they can
What's
sit
in
at the
this
count.
Bill of
They can sit
Rights?
at
I
the
wonder
counter
what's
with
in this Bill
everybody,
of
right?
Rights.
They can drink out the same water fountains with everybody, right? They can get jobs, right? I'm just
They're working
referencing.
everywhere. They even read to children.
Yeah, they get to come into school and do splits and stuff in front of kindergartners and they dress in wigs.
They just about got their whole own network.
Yeah.
Ain't logo? Ain't that their channel? Logo?
Yeah, it's logo. I don't know if logo's still on. Hold on.
Oh, I don't know, but they got their own TV shows. They had all the red carpet events, interviewing people, and they in movies on TV shows, and I don't understand. Modeling, winning beauty pageants. Where
They
are they being ostracized
I,
and
she's
shunned out of society?
she said something. It, I can't even get it
Where are
out.
they being shunned out of society, though? Where's that happening?
Cause they, because people are saying that they don't want them in the bathroom. If you are a transgender woman, they don't want you in the bathroom with the women and the girls. And if you are a transgender man, which I don't think they argue too much about. But what's funny to me, and we always talk about this, well, we always say this, they the ones that made it a big deal, the Democrat Party
Hmm.
and them, because
Hmm.
I know it's been a couple times just in me growing up that I was in the bathroom with a trans person. Um, but because it wasn't nobody, you know what I'm saying, we wasn't making a big deal of it. I think it's like once you point stuff out and you put stuff out, then you give people, now you give people an opportunity to voice their opinion, right? And now when I voice my opinion on what you're trying to force on me, you get to hear how I truly feel. Now, when I go, I'm gonna start running in and out. If I think, well, because sometimes some women really look like men, but they really ain't men. And so I feel like
Hmm.
we kind of, you didn't know, so you just went on, used the bathroom, and left on out of here. But now that y'all want to make it where it's most definite, and we gonna know for sure, then no,
Hmm.
I'm
That's what I
sorry.
think. I think that it wasn't an issue, right? Because we know as women that there probably have been times that there's been a real transgender woman in our
Mm-hmm.
spaces, right? Someone who actually lives as a woman. You couldn't tell that they weren't a woman. I'll just put it that way, right?
Right.
It didn't become an issue until the Democrat Party and the left started saying that there was no criteria to being a woman. You simply had to say it. So there was no transitioning involved. So to say that we are transphobic or we're against, no, we're not against trans, because these people that y'all want to put in our
Right.
spaces ain't transitioning into nothing. They not even shaving their facial hair anymore. They putting on a
Mm-hmm.
wig and lashes, if that much. Or slapping on some lipstick and saying I'm a woman, therefore I belong in women's locker rooms and women's bathrooms and changing rooms and I mean, come on, that is what made it an issue.
Yeah.
Is that you compromise the safety of women and children.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is what it was.
Yeah. They brought up the problem. They put the problem now. Now you're mad
Hmm.
that you the one brought attention to something, and now it's got our attention, and you don't like what people are saying. I just
Hmm.
don't understand why we can't just continue to live. I'm not nowhere running around here announcing I'm heterosexual all day, and you know,
Right.
and
Look, do
want you
you
to
know I sleep with
acknowledge I'm
men? You
heterosexual.
know I like men. You know I'm attracted to men, right? I'm attracted to
Yeah,
men.
I should. Yep, I should start everywhere I go. Hey, you know I'm hetero, right? You know, can I? Is there a bathroom? You know, just start pointing out. Oh, oh, I don't like girls. You know, I really don't like what the heck? Like,
Right.
why are you doing that? It's the dumbest stuff ever. Outside. You don't
Hey,
want no
as
differences,
a
but you want the
heterosexual
attention.
woman, as a heterosexual woman,
And I was something today. This lady was like, "Yeah, because I am a cisgender something woman." I said, "See, that right there shows you that they didn't got over to you because I'm never calling me some stuff myself some
no.
stuff they just created in 1974. I am a
Hmm.
woman, and when I was born, it said baby girl, and that's what that is. I ain't
I
telling
don't
y'all
need a
not to be what y'all
qualifier.
want to be, but don't be trying to tell me nothing. I am calling myself, and that's it."
Hmm. If you call yourself a trans woman, then people know that I'm a woman. I don't need a qualifier. You do. You will
Hmm.
not call me cisgendered woman so that you can be called a woman. Like, come on. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The left has gone full circle with feminism. They've gone so far left. They've done a complete circle, and now they want men back in control and everywhere. You muted. I can't hear you, Mom.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I had got a interruption. But yeah, I am just like floored by the fact that that they they expect so much, and then get mad when we, the people, don't give them what they want. You want to live freely. You want to do, you want to not be bothered, but then you want to be in everybody's face.
But you want to bother everybody else
Exactly.
and take their
Exactly.
freedoms away and infringe on their rights, but you want everybody to leave you alone. And I
Okay.
used to have this other thing too about that alphabet mafia, right? And this is the thing that's on the left really is that they believe that it because they want to do something in order for them to be able to exercise that right, that means that everybody else has to agree with it and participate, right? And allow them to infringe on their spaces with whatever they got going on. That's not what that means. You having the right to live your life as transgendered, a part of the alphabet mafia, however you want to live, has nothing to do with me. You can have your parade. You can have it. That is your right to have your parade. What you don't have a right to do is demand that I march in the parade
Right.
and I fly a flag and I do,
I
I'm a
say, go,
majorette
girl. Yeah. You go,
and I
boy.
cheer you on. I don't have to do any of that, right?
I color
That
my
is
hair
where
green
we have
and
to
put on
get to
my
that.
diaper.
You don't feel like your rights are uplifted if everybody is not going to. I don't have to go along with it. I don't
Yeah.
have to agree with your lifestyle. I don't have to like it. I don't have to want it around me. It does not stop you from
From
living your. If
being
you want to
you.
wear a wig and beard, do it. That's on you. But you don't have to demand that I like it.
Right. Because I'm not somewhere demanding that you like that I'm heterosexual. Period.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I know I didn't we're gonna go on to our trending topics, but I just wanted to say something I was gonna today, and I don't know if we're gonna create it every time, but I just wanted to have the dummy of the day. Which they weren't dumb today, they were dumb on Monday. And I have to play this because I don't know if you, but I do know you knew about it. But what you thought, and I'm going to tell you why they get my Dummy of the Day award. Let's see.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's get back here.
It's low, Mo.
Yeah, Austin, just as you mentioned, authorities have identified this 18-year-old suspect as Carter Camacho from Georgia. I'm being told that he ran towards the U.S. Capitol building as he was wearing a tactical vest, gloves, and carrying a loaded shotgun. Now, fortunately, police were on standby. They were able to stop him. We're also being told that Congress was not in session. Now, here where I'm standing, this is Maryland Avenue. This is a street, and also just
Okay, so I'm going to tell you why he gets my my dummy. Get that your sound down just a little bit. Stay. Why he gets the Dummy of the Day award, because he didn't did all that. Now he about to be in jail because he freshly grown at 18 years old, and he did this on. We had a partial government shutdown, and it was President's Day, so ain't nobody at work. What was he? What was he gonna accomplish? What
Nothing
like
but a spectacle. Nothing but a spectacle. That's it. More attention, more distraction. Camacho.
from Georgia? So he didn't drove all the way when ain't nobody at the Capitol to go put on noticeable gear that people they have guards around it all the time. Put on noticeable gear, run up with a gun to go get nobody. When I say
Mm-hmm. All the
he is
police had to
one
do was
hundred
show up, and he
percent,
was like, "All right, y'all got me."
he is 100% the dumb of the day.
I like that.
Oh shucks, that was funny. That was just horrible. So we're gonna roll on in, Stag. This is your. We're gonna roll on in before we get to wrap it up. We are going into our trending topics. Stag had a
Oh,
story that she didn't show to me. I got one. I think I got to show to her. Afterwards. Hold on, Stag. Let's get this off. Oops. Oops. And one I have to show to her afterwards, but we're gonna go in. I don't know if you guys have heard, but go ahead, Stag. I'll get your stuff ready to load up your video. But
okay. So I stumbled on a video of this man, a young boy, and a woman sitting there, and this guy, pastor, was, every other word was glory to God. I went to jail, glory to God. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Now, the young man in the middle in the video that I saw did not get to speak, but he does not look comfortable, and I didn't like it. Um, Turns out the pastor was arrested because the young boy, who I believe is 15, uh, went and told a counselor at school that there was abuse in the home.
mhm.
So that got people looking into Pastor T.D. McNutt. That is his name, his real name, and looking at,
He's a
at their
McNutt.
social media. And it's really weird over there. It's really weird over there. He has these two young men, and one seems like he's under some kind of spell. And the way that he talks about this pastor is
Well, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play your your
okay.
your
Do
first the
do
first one first. I'm gonna make sure I got the
do
volume up
that,
for y'all.
and also there are other victims of his coming out, and they're
Okay,
starting to speak now.
let's see.
Boy right here has put us through some horrendous situations. Really. He done put us, but guess what, y'all? We love him. We love him. We love you. We love him. Glory to God's name. But I don't know how you parents feel about this. I know y'all probably done been through some stuff that y'all children put y'all through. We feel you. We know it. Lord, this boy right here, alone, he's just 16 years young today. He'll be 17 years old soon in a few months. Glory to God's name. But ever since being in middle school, primary school, before moving to Florida, he has put her and me through hell. And he's handsome as all get out. He is. But he done put us through hell. And so we still love you. We still love you. You done put us through hell.
Blink 3 times if you really want to get out of here.
Always with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you done put us through pure hell. For what? I don't know. But you done put us through pure hell. And we still here with you. That the district attorney said, Lord of God's name, she still think I did something wrong. She still think I did something wrong. Absolutely ridiculous.
Blink
right?
one more time, baby.
So then we want you all to hear from.
They said he blinked like 76
Cameron, of
times
course,
during
as
this
well.
video.
This is his brother here, glory to God's name. And, we want you all, glory to God's name, to hear from Cameron. And because all of us have been affected by what he's done. All of us in our homes have been affected. This boy
Okay,
right here
okay.
has put us through some.
Okay, so here's the one.
I love you, and you are stellar. You are the best person I know. You are incomparable to. You are incomparable. You are second to no one, and there is no one I would rather be in a relationship with. There's no one I would rather have as my spiritual father, as my uncle, as my father. There's no one I would rather be under. The example that you are, the example that you show. So, I love you.
All right. So let me turn the volume down. So we have an example of him talking with the guest. This the boy's younger brother, and
He's
he.
older.
No, I'm saying the first one was the younger,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and he wanted to blink his way, be invisible, and get out of there like I dream of Genie. And now this brother then been under him all the time, and he already got the heavy tongue and all the things that lead to this little boy probably.
Look at their eyebrows, Mo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So tell me, I mean, what you didn't call? Tell the people what you did, what you did, Stag. I don't mean to laugh, but
Yeah, I went and I looked when I was watching that video of that thing. I went and looked and saw some more stuff, and I went back to that video and I asked the people, who is this man and what state are they in? Because I'm calling somebody because that was a very uncomfortable to watch. When I
mhm.
sent it to y'all, right, I put some laughing emojis on it because I was laughing at that pastor because every other word he was just glory to God, hallelujah, in Jesus' name, glory to God. And the people in the comments like, if he say glory to God one more, they was like he did it, glory to God. He going to jail, glory to God, because
Let's see. They, I
whatever
get.
he did, whatever that boy said he did it.
I'm
Because I saw
sorry. I'm gonna
some
pause
more
this.
disturbing
Yeah,
videos,
I think this
and
is.
him, he kind of tell on himself if
I
you
think
listen
this is
to him.
after the arrest. I mean, or whatever they did. Let's
All
see.
of the discomfort that you all have felt in the matter with my son.
I can't hear it. It's low.
I deeply apologize from the video, and which was his idea to go live. He wasn't forced or anything like that. That was Conardo's idea. All of the discomfort that
He said it was the young man, the youngest one's idea to do the video. So it was his idea to do the video, but he ain't say one word in it. He looked like he
He did.
totally.
There is a part where he is saying, but basically he's saying, I want to apologize to you and I love you and I'm apologize for everything I put you through. He
The
had to
little boy.
apologize to the older brother, to the lady that was sitting on the side, the people out there in the audience. He had to apologize to everybody.
Hmm.
The system failed that little boy, and now it may be hard to get him to speak up.
So, but they've taken him. They've taken him now, right?
Yes, Jedediah Brown, who I'm iffy about on things, is an activist there
Yeah,
in
he's
Chicago.
well, you know, he's
Yeah,
suspect
I'm
too.
iffy on him
Yeah, he
sometimes, but he said that their group of them had, they started making noise because the little boy was back there in the home, hence the video. And now, according to Jedediah Brown, because he talked to the boy's biological mother, I believe it is, and
mm-hmm.
somebody else, but he said that they have now opened up another investigation, and he has been removed from the home. So we'll see where that goes. But again, as I said, there were other boys because people found pictures
Oh
of
wait,
him
I
with
think
two
I
other
found
boys,
something. Hold on.
and they eyebrows arched up too. And one of them came out and did a post, posted the picture, did a post, covered the other one's face, and kind of shared his experience. And now the other one is also sharing his experience as well. So
So the lady is his cousin. So he
yes.
doesn't have a woman in his
And
life.
the cousin is the boy's mother.
Oh, that lady that was next to him was the mama?
She's the young boy's mother. The other boy is somebody else's kid, I think. They even have pictures with his biological father. There's a video where on his 15th birthday, him and that woman went into that boy's room while he was asleep, took the covers off of him. He only had on underwear, and the pastor was touching him in inappropriate places, saying happy birthday and all of the stuff that was going on. He was, she was pinching him on the butt, and it was just very inappropriate. And you can tell the boy was very uncomfortable.
This is on the
I think
video?
he said that he had wet the bed, and it was just really uncomfortable to watch. And that man should have no kids in his care ever, especially little boys, because that seemed to be his
Well,
preference.
I can tell you as a a foster and adoptive mom, when I even had an issue with the child, right? And I had went through so much and I just couldn't take it anymore. You do what's called like a 14-day notice, and they know they have 14 days to come get them. But this just shows you how they don't really care like that, which is why I commend our first lady, Melania, because these stories she knows about. So a lot of things that she is doing in the EOs that they're signing are helping to make sure that these kids don't just get lost in the system like that. Because literally, when I called them to come get my daughter, they never showed up. I literally had to end up taking her with her stuff to them, which it was almost a month after I had given a 14-day notice. So I could have, she could have been gone. I could have been doing anything to that child. And
Hmm.
they did not care. So that's something too that I like that they don't talk about, and what she's doing. And it's very important to her too about protecting these children, because as we know this whole with the elite that we know are all enthralled with children, and so working for children and getting and saving children, and then they save the children to hurt the children.
Hmm.
um we know that that's not what's really happening. And I feel like it's kind of interesting that Melania really got into this after we know all of these files and stuff have been, not got into it, but it's doing more. These files are being released because I'm sure they were hearing about, all of these things, and how these powerful people, and I mean, this man is nobody, right? But you
Hmm.
have a bunch of powerful people who are doing a lot of things with kids, and a lot of mind manipulation. And these are the people who people literally listen to and go to for their advice. I mean, we just give example. We keep it real. Oprah was all up in them files. And how many times, or how many people do you know every morning waiting to do and watch Oprah to hear what she had to say about whatever? If you heard it, if they heard it on Oprah, it was real. If the people
Hmm.
came on Oprah, they was stamped. And then to now
Hmm.
look into those files and kind of see that old Steen was you knew that of her, or maybe they shaped her for
Hmm.
that in a sense, because now all of a sudden everybody who needs to be cleaned up, they show up on the Oprah show to
Yes,
talk.
indeed. Or debuted for
Yeah,
Power.
yeah, because
Yes.
she got that man. He's supposed to be, what's his name? Chokra, Deepak Chokra or something. He's supposed to be such this healer and
That was
this.
Johnny God.
No,
Johnny
no,
God. But
Deepak.
that's the Dalai Lama.
No, no, Deepak Chopra, the guy that she would have a special with, and we had to. He is in there emailing Ep, and he is.
That's the Dalai Lama, Mo.
I'm saying, but his name is Deepak Chopra.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
people
Right,
don't
right,
know
right.
about that. That's Dalai Lama.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
remember because I remember several
Hmm.
times of her, advertising the show and who he was, this
Hmm.
and that. But he is literally in there saying, and Ep is asking him, "Do you think we can get Oprah to have interview Woody Allen?"
Hmm. And also remember the John of God guy that she promoted on her show,
Mm-hmm.
and Naomi Campbell, another person I kept telling y'all is all wrapped up in this.
Mm-hmm.
She went there and they showed her there that with him, this he's supposed to be this healer or whatever. He got arrested under Trump's first term. He fled and had to be tracked down and found, but it turned out, and you're not probably not gonna see it in any of the stories that they write about him now, but I remember when it happened, he was actually running a baby farm. He was holding women and breeding them
Mm.
for 10 years, and after 10 years, he was killing them. He ran a baby farm, okay? Also, Oprah was seen on the yacht of David Geffen. Do you know who David Geffen is,
Mm-hmm.
Mo? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Convicted pedophile. Um, she's around a lot of pedos. Okay.
Weinstein,
Mhm.
and she
Yep.
never. And what's crazy is nobody ever really calls her out
Nobody
for,
presses her,
yeah,
right? She
that
gets
that
to
she's
just say,
connected to
"Oh,
all
we're
of
just
this
doing
stuff.
this." It's the way that I say with Democrats. Whenever a scandal come out, right? Democrats get to just say, "Oh, well, that's ridiculous," and that's it. We don't
Mm-hmm.
need an investigation. We don't need nothing. They just say so. There was also the thing where they said that Oprah's house was raided and it was getting dug up or something. I don't know how true that was, but anyway, she got to just
Testing.
come out and say, "Oh no, that's not true. That's not happening," and that's it. Nobody presses her. Nobody presses her on her relationships with these people or
How she didn't
nothing. She
quote
begins to
unquote
give a
been with this
statement.
man who ain't nothing but her beard in their house, and she taking care of him, and then she's literally, allegedly, we gonna say allegedly, literally not showing any signs of truly being into him or males, period.
Well, no, that ain't no secret. They ain't married. They ain't no
Right,
relationship.
but I'm
It's a
saying, but
beard,
that
like
whole
you said.
point, and
It's a
so
beard.
I'm thinking deeper. I'm thinking deeper in
Hmm.
how she's connected with all this. I was just saying, okay, I felt like her and her the G lady was a couple.
Hmm. And then
Um,
let's not forget also that Oprah admitted to being abused as a child herself.
mm-hmm,
And they do say that most people, not all, most people who are abused end up being abusers.
yeah,
And the fact that she don't want to have children of her own. I think that's very telling.
yeah. And the way her story was and who it was, was very dark. And I feel like these people who we know are doing mind manipulation, because that is a big part of what they were doing, they
Mhm.
got a hold of her and did it early, and when she was chunk monk Oprah, and shaped her. I really feel like they shaped and molded her
Mhm.
into being who she became. Because how,
Who's
just
the
really, what
influencer
what what
lesson?
so great was she doing that would lead her to become who she became, different than any other talk show
And
host?
seem to be beyond reproach, really,
Yes.
And when you want to talk about when people in here talking about how black people ain't got no power, well, there you go, right there.
But and you realize she never really is stand up like this for the you know what I'm saying, like how the black people be trying to stand stand up for her and all that. She don't never really come out and say or do anything at any of those moments when you would think she should
No,
you speak up and show
mm-mm,
she's with the people,
nope,
because that's not what her job is. And
nope.
they
Her
like, look
job,
now, we ain't
she's
paying you to do that.
she's a fixer, an image
Yeah,
cleaner.
she's a uh-huh. I
Hmm.
100% agree.
Yeah,
But I
before they put you back out, before you come back with some act right, you go on Oprah and she helps to smooth things over, and then they can put you back out there now that you've taken your
Yep.
punishment for whatever it is that you did, your transgression was against the order,
Mhm.
and they'll clean you up. Go on Oprah, she'll clean you up, and then we'll get you right back on out there.
Old Jay Jigga too, and he even made a comment. I said I thought about it too. In his lyric, he do say I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man. And then all of a sudden, this nigga from the sorry y'all, this man from the Marcy Projects who ain't did much of, I mean, he's a good rapper or whatever, but now he's making it to the levels of things that he has exhibits in museums, and I mean all of this stuff, like it's just it's you're
And
not
and
thinking
he
at the
wields a
time.
lot of power too.
Hmm.
He wields a lot of power too.
That's what I'm saying, and he's all up,
Hmm.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think as we're all been going along, and just listening, you like, oh, okay. But now, if you really think about it as well, what makes him? Everybody who kind of has gotten further than what you would think, just based on the fact of what it is that they really do. You see, they all have a lot of dark stuff going on connected to them.
Hmm.
Just regular rappers who are great rappers, who
Hmm.
great business people, great all that, they hit a plateau. And I feel like it's because these people in this industry, these elite people, all these people we know, they initials generally start with a J. They probably test everybody, but then they learn who they can play with and who they can't. They
Right.
learn who gonna go and who ain't.
Hmm. So speaking on that, did you hear that they were saying, about Elon being in there, and he was forthcoming about what happened as far as the communications that he had in the
Mm-hmm.
files, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Um, he said that they kept inviting him to the island and, parties and events, but once they got the message that he wasn't interested in really showing up, because you and I had this conversation, and
Yeah.
just because people call and invite you to stuff and you're like, yeah, just let me know
Yeah,
when,
yeah,
and I said,
tell
don't mean
me.
that you come, and you just try not to be like, nah, I don't want to come. You just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, just let me know when it is. But when he never came, right? One of the ways that they wanted to punish him, and it's in their communication, Epstein and Bill Gates plotted together to try to destroy Elon and Tesla. So Bill Gates shorted his Tesla stock. And that is, I'm sure you've seen the stories all over for the last day that they said Elon Musk claims this, that, and the third, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I went back to see if I can find any evidence of any stories of them saying that Bill Gates did this with his stock, but it was about 1% or something. Um, and I did. I found it. So he did absolutely do it. He
I'm
did
sure.
do it. And Elon Musk didn't just now say this when the files came out. He said it about Bill Gates when he did it because he told him it was going to bankrupt him.
I'm
So,
sure that man, and it's interesting. That's how you know he has to be connected to because he is connected to so much weird and dirty stuff in this country, and I don't see how someone who is a software developer, a tech person, is even in these areas and spaces that he's in, because none of
because
them have to do with computers and tech.
it's not about their expertise, it's about the influence that they
Yeah.
wield. because they all come from family. This all of them come from these families, and this is what they have done forever. Bill Gates' father was a eugenist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and he comes from a one of the families. So he's this is he ain't no down to earth person and ain't just trying to do goodwill. He trying to
Right.
depopulate the earth. He told y'all that in 2011 in the TED talk. He told you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's constantly putting his money and resources into things that
Will destroy
gonna get
this
rid of more
place.
people.
Mm-hmm. And
That's what he's interested in.
that is absolutely
So, I mean, that's what
true.
it's about. He has no it they censor. I want you to think about the fact that they censored doctors during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
censored them, took them off of platforms. There was a video that I was watching of America's frontline doctors doing that press conference in front of Capitol Hill. And before we could even let everybody know that they were on there, YouTube had snatched that video down. Okay. And
Mm.
these were doctors actively treating patients and trying to let us know in the middle of something we did not experience, nobody knew what was working, because Fauci wasn't seeing nobody patients, okay? These were people actually working with patients and letting us know what they were doing and what was working. And they censored them. And but Bill Gates could get on TV and they're gonna throw a microphone in his face and ask him what
Mm-hmm.
did he think that we should be doing during COVID. And last time I checked, Bill Gates didn't go to nobody medical school.
That's what look. That's right after when I had read and found out what I found out. I was like, this right here is the proof that this was all something that Todd and them didn't do. That Bill them and the F person and all them was in that together.
Did you
And
see the email of him talking to somebody whose name is redacted in it saying, how do we get rid of poor people?
no,
They were having a conversation. They were like, yeah, we need to really talk about that. And that was in, I want to say,
they crazy.
2000 and it was either 2008, 11, or 15. I can't remember which because I don't seen so many of them. But yeah, email to somebody saying, talking about them already having this conversation, but now, hey, I really seriously think that we need to talk about how do we
Getting rid of
get
these
rid of
people.
as many poor people as we can. And then you know what
Child,
happened? That
we are
TED talk,
almost
Bill Gates and the TED talk, talking about how, hey, that CO2 and we gotta, through healthcare, vaccines, and reproductive health, we can cut this population down.
just
Have you
sad.
seen that video, Mo?
I haven't watched the full thing. I have watched a part. I remember a while, it was a while ago watching it and just kind of being like, these people are, me, my word, these people are weird. And so I didn't keep but that's what I'm saying. As the things like started coming out with that, I just was awakened uh in and I actually was saying that earlier today somewhere. I was like telling people like, y'all have to quit acting like you haven't seen things happen here and in the world that shows that people will do the things that sounds crazy to you or so outlandish to you. You just because you would never think that. It has been proven that there are people who be doing this stuff and doing this stuff on purpose. And what they do to us and do to everybody is try, oh, that's a conspiracy, that sounds like a conspiracy. And then what happens is years later, sometimes it's short amount of years, sometimes it's a long amount of years, but it comes out that everything, and sometimes it might be little pieces that might have been different, but it does come out that the people were you said you wrote, okay, I'll just make it all right.
No, but
Go
it
ahead.
wasn't. It's not that it comes out years later. It's that they ignore us when we're saying it right as things are happening. Right when
Right, because
things
they're
are
saying that's what
happening.
I'm saying. They be saying it's not the truth, or in a sense.
Right. They
Yeah.
like, nah, it's conspiracy theories, don't listen to
Mm-hmm.
them, take them off the platform, censor them and all of that. And then here comes some
Mm-hmm.
years later, we were telling the truth about it, but y'all still want to keep calling us conspiracy theorists
Mm-hmm.
and saying that we don't know what we're talking about. And we like, man, oh for like 1,000 right now in what y'all said was conspiracy theories and what has, turned out to be true.
Yeah.
So
Well, I wanted
that
to
is the
before we
thing. The right
before we
doesn't
get in.
have the amplifying bullhorn because the left controls academia, media, entertainment, Hollywood. So everybody is, their mouthpieces
Hmm.
and fixers and cover uppers.
Well, we are
So,
almost at our mark, so I wanted to definitely touch on this really quickly, just to show it, and then we can get ready for our one of our one of asked about, talked about segments of the show, which is I just can't. But let's go ahead. I wanted to definitely put this out here because again, everybody keeps trying to say that this stuff does not affect your mental, and you trying to change who you are don't affect your mental. Well, here is an example that it does. And it's a sad example, and I hate to see something like this. Um, but it at some point you guys will start having your politicians quit pushing for this craziness. All right.
Rhode Island. News Pawtucket Police Chief credits Michael Black for intervening. Investigators say
volume.
Robert Dorgan opened fire at a high school hockey game, killing his ex-wife and adult son before dying from an apparent self-inflicted wound. His ex-wife's parents and a family friend remain hospitalized in critical condition. Black told ABC Boston affiliate WCVB his hand got caught in the gun's chamber.
When I tackled him, there was a couple full loaded magazines that he had that popped out. So, he had two guns. So I was only aware of one, but definitely brought extra bullets. I had heroes that were there too that jumped to my knee when I was on the ground. So I think it was more of a community side. I was the one that jumped it first, but others jumped it too.
Authorities say the gunman also went by the name Roberta. An investigation is ongoing to determine a motive.
So the daughter stated that her dad had mental health issues. He actually killed his ex-wife, his son, and his mother-in-law, I think, and father-in-law are still in the hospital in critical condition. And his other son was out there playing hockey at the time. Did you see what he looked like?
No, I didn't.
Let me get this. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. You have to grab somewhere that they're not. Okay, here we go. We can use this here real quick. Okay, I'm gonna just show you now. I don't mean to laugh, but when you see this, look at him, Stag. You see him?
No, not yet. I can't see on the screen that I'm recording
Oh,
on.
okay,
Okay,
okay. I'm sorry.
so I'm waiting on it, and it's like a delay on my other screen. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, what the?
Let me go right here. Here we go.
See, that's what I mean. That's a man that just grew his hair long and put on a dress, and you think that we want
Look at
them in the bathroom with us?
just look at him. Look at him. Look at him, girl.
Hmm.
From his social media profiles, they say he also went by Roberta, so Roberta Dorgan. And sources tell Fox he was dressed in women's clothing when he showed up to his son's hockey game yesterday afternoon. These pictures you're looking at are from months ago, Bill, but witnesses and people we've talked to who were at this hockey game say that this was something that happened pretty often where he would show up in women's
The
clothing.
volume is
So,
low.
according to documents obtained by our affiliate WPRI, Dorgan had a history of family disputes. So let's get into them. Some involving conflict over his gender identity because he had gender reassignment surgery back in 2020. So WPRI reports that in these court documents, his trans identity led to the divorce with his ex-wife, reportedly detailing, she said, that he had narcissistic and personality disorder traits along with the transition. So his social media profile's under investigation. I want to point this out. Just one day before he opened fire, he was defending trans Congresswoman Sarah McBride. He wrote this in part on X. Keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk. So they're looking into all of these.
Let's pause right there. Let's read this. Now
Okay. So
So They keep saying that it's this personality disorder and all these things, but they're not making the logical conclusion, which is
Th-
hormones,
Yeah, they
right?
start taking, yeah.
Hormones that cause these mental health issues because they raging with hormones. It's like teenagers when they go through
Mm-hmm.
puberty and their bodies rush with all and they act like they done lost their mind.
Yep.
You know, I would never forget the time my little cousin was in the store with her mom and she had just gotten her first, little girl thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
she the hormones raging, and she said something smart to her mama. Her mama must have slapped her lips into the next file. But
Well, well, ladies and gentlemen who are here, we are at one of your favorite moments of the show as we could get ready to wind down, but somebody about to turn it up because they just can't. So I'm gonna go ahead. Y'all know I blocks myself out while y'all can enjoy Miss Stag. I cannot wait to hear what we are dealing with today during the I just can't moment. If y'all know my sister, you know she can't with these people and the things that's going on. So Stag, what you just can't today?
I can't because I did do a video on this, and I'm gonna give it to y'all, right? Because when we had these debates, one of the number one things that you get from the left is you won't let me finish, you won't let me finish, you keep interrupting me. And we find that y'all like to just steamroll a bunch of talking points out because you're really not giving us information. You're just rattling off all the talking points you can think of, and you're not prepared to go deeper than just the talking point. And we interrupt you with it, specifically I do, is because if you said something that doesn't make sense, I can't understand where you're going after that. I need you to clarify this right here. And what you just said, I need to clarify so I can keep following you. And it's like if you're teaching me, training me, and it's 12 steps in this training, and you say, okay, one, you do this and do that, and then you go on to step two, and you do this and do that, and then you get to step three, and say, then you do this and do that, and then I say, but why? And you say, hold on, let me finish. But why do I need to do this thing in step three? But wait a minute, just let me finish. You won't let me finish, and then I go ahead and I be quiet, and you take me all the way to 12. But now I don't know. I don't have no clue about how to do this process because you left me at step three. I couldn't understand step three, therefore, I had no understanding at step four or five or six. That is why we interrupt. I need you to clarify this so that I understand moving forward. Like why you having this frame of mind, like of your reference of data, information, whatever it is. It's for clarity and understanding moving forward, but y'all don't want to do that. And sometimes, like I said in my rant, if you answer the questions that we have, you'll realize that what you're about to say don't make sense, or what you just said doesn't make sense. So we don't need to go the rest of this way with you on this trip that you're taking us on, because we established right here that it doesn't make sense. But y'all don't want to do that either. Even though we prove you wrong right there, you still be like, no, wait a minute, let me finish, and want to keep going in your misinformation. I don't want to listen to you talk for 10 minutes of misinformation, lies, and a bunch of conspiracy theories from the left that you can't prove. I don't want to do that. You wasting my time, you wasting my energy. And I think I need a lot of y'all to just be honest that y'all really don't know what y'all talking about. You just hear what other people say, and then you get in these debate panels and you try to debate with people who have actually delved into these topics, have factual information, and because you choose to not want to believe it, you think that's enough to say that it ain't true. Like y'all are confusing. Um, like listening to y'all argue these talking points that the Democrats gave y'all about why we shouldn't have voter ID, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. They make y'all look like fools. And because y'all won't use your own brain and assess if the information makes sense or even if it aligns with your reality, you just listen to it, take it in your brain, and regurgitate it back out. No critical thinking about it at all. And I just want to know what your thought process is. I don't want to hear about statistics and graphs and what organizations have said and what economists have said and what climate change experts have said. I want you to tell me after you listen to these dummies up there in Capitol Hill and on the TV, does what they make sense to you? Common sense, it does it make sense to you considering what they told you just last week? Y'all just jump all over the place. But that is what I can't do. I don't want to listen to you. I'm not gonna listen to you. Just go off and just be talking just to hear yourself talk.
All right. All right then. Stag says she just can't child with that. And I agree. You already know I agree because I do the same exact thing. That was good. Hopefully, we're gonna definitely it'll clip it and we're gonna share. So now when everybody can't understand why we keep cutting them off, they'll know it's because we just can't keep hearing stupidity for 10 minutes. And the first thing you said didn't make no sense. Why I want to hear
Right,
all
it's
five of the
wrong. You
things?
know, right here. Why I gotta still listen to you? And then it's this is another thing. It would be different if when y'all doing this little talking thing, if you stayed in the framework of the topic that we're talking about. But you don't do that. You want to talk for 10 minutes, but you want to jump to 12 different
Different
topics
topic.
and don't want to answer no questions or you
Or
don't want no
prove
pushback
anything
on
that
what
you
you're
saying
saying.
based on whatever it is you come up with that you want us to hear. Well,
And
Stag, thank you so much for sharing. Y'all know the second part of the show is in my wheelhouse. It is time for Mo's Money Minute. And as you guys know, I am Mo, Miss Mo, aka Let's Be Honest. Now, you guys may or may not know, but I do have an actual savings club. And in my savings club, I have a savings plan that is called the TGIF savings plan. And it's because saving should be simple, consistent, and actually doable. So, you all know I like to get this done in a minute, and I like to give 3 tips. So, the first tip I want you to do is to track your spending. You cannot fix what you won't face. Before you save a dollar, you need to know where the money is going. Track every expense for at least 7 days. Yes, even the little quick snack that you may get, that you go run and get your pack of gum, any of those things, those subscriptions you forget about, make sure that you are tracking those things because awareness of them is your first paycheck. If you can cancel something, that now puts money back in your pocket. Tip number 2. Now, you got to go by, this is what makes it the TGIF. You're going to go by the Friday date, right? So here's how it works. Every Friday, you're going to save based on the date of that Friday. So if the first Friday of the month falls on the 5th, you're going to save $5. So that means that the next Friday of the month would fall on the 12th, and you're going to save $12. The following Friday is the 19th, you save $19, and so on for every other Friday. So what you can do then with that money, you're going to save it in cash, put it in a shoebox, put it in a duffel bag, put it somewhere you can put it aside. Most of us don't have cash anymore. So you also can drop that money, that amount per Friday, into a digital interest bearing savings account so that the money will grow while you're stacking it. It's interest bearing, so it's earning money, and you're putting that date in every Friday. So, for example, if you were to start this, right? Because I'm not saying this for you to not start. If you were to start this saying the first at the beginning of March, in March, the Fridays fall on the 6th, the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. So your deposits are going to be $6, $13, $20, and $27. That's going to be $66 saved for the month of March alone. You put that in your interest bearing digital or your bank. I'd say digital savings account. If you want to know what accounts I recommend, definitely contact me in the description below and I will let you know which banks I recommend and that I use. You're going to follow that pattern every single month through the end of the year, and then you can restart it at the end of the year, or you can continue on for whatever goal or whatever it is you're saving for. So if you're saving for an emergency fund, travel, if you got to pay off some debt, or if you want to start doing some investing. Lastly, tip 3, You're going to increase by staying consistent. So you're going to watch the calendar, you're going to stay on the calendar flow. And the beauty of this is that it's already built to increase. As the calendar dates get higher, your savings are going to get higher. So it's no guesswork, it's no stress. All you have to do is stay disciplined, y'all, and follow the Friday dates every week. Now that's how you're going to build real savings. Now, this is the last thing. Don't forget that the last F means finish strong. Don't quit halfway through the year. Stay committed, stay focused, and watch your savings stock up by December. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you figure out how to keep. So this has been Mo, and this has been my Money Minute, where smart money moves turn into financial freedom. See y'all. Okay. No, it was
Good,
longer than
good
a minute that time.
information. Good information. Good information.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching us as well. All of our regulars, we appreciate you. Y'all are here every week with us. Sacred, I know Yonky, our manager didn't show up today. We got Mary. Who else was here? Shout y'all out. Mary, we got Wendell was here as well. Walt came through. So all of you guys that came through, that come through every week, please just remember to help us grow. We're still trucking to that 500. Make sure that you share this with your friends. Make sure while you're here, you engage so that YouTube can send it out. So if you have not already hit the thumbs up, I need you to give us a thumbs up before you leave. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you have subscribed if you haven't already, and share with your friends. We here at the Proud Mary Podcast are here to give it to you nice when we can and rough when we must, but it's always going to be something that's going to be beneficial to you, generally growing mentally. Okay, we trying to teach y'all something, give y'all information, and allow you to learn for yourself once you get it. What is Stag's thing? Stag wants to, what you say, Stag? You want to make people think. What's that? How you saying? I want to.
Yeah, I want people to think. I want them to just think. I don't want talking points, right? Because if I want a talking point, I go watch CNN or some other talking head. I want you to tell me, like, how do you assess the information that you saw, and what is the conclusion that you came to? What do you think is going on here? You know what I'm saying? And this is something that you can learn about me. I used to want to be a criminal psychologist.
Mm,
And I also have always been interested in what makes people think the way that they do or do the things that they do.
mm-hmm.
So I'm curious as to how do you come to the conclusions that you come through. You're not telling me nothing when you just shout out talking points.
Yeah, and that's when I realized that just everybody elevator don't go to the top. Because when you do that, and when we do that, and they just still don't get it. I
Mhm.
understand that there's a mental block, and we
Yeah,
can't
but they'll
fix.
say you don't want to hear what I got to say. I do want to hear what you have to say. You're not telling me. That's the
Thank you,
problem. You're not
Mary.
telling me
Right,
what
you're
you
telling
think.
me what somebody else said. You're not telling
Right,
me
you're
once you
telling me
heard
what
that,
you think.
you processed it, and then you thought about it and what you actually think.
Mm-hmm.
You literally sound like a recorder.
You do
But
give
y'all
me
know we can go
you
on
put
and
in your
on and
picture.
on talking, especially about this. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this evening. We definitely, again, we appreciate you all. We pray that you come back and check us out next Wednesday at between 6 and 6:30. We generally are on by 6:30. We be running a little late sometimes. We be having technical difficulties, but we appreciate you. And remember to always think freely. I have been Miss Mo, and this is,
92 stag.
and we are the Proud Mary Podcast. We will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.